Arguments that everybody on Twitter is having about Disney's Little Mermaid. It's not doing well in China and Japan and the Asian markets because they're racist over there. Not, they are in certain places, especially China's kind of racist a little bit. But no, see, your argument would hold weight if Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which stars a black Miles Morales, half black, half Puerto Rican character, is crushing it right now. So that just throws your racist Asian market argument out the window. And the Fast and the Furious movies do hella good over there. They make most of their money in the Asian markets, and it stars a bunch of Latinos, 2 black guys, and Brian, who's the white guy, but who's been gone for the last couple movies and whatnot. And The Rock's like Samoan. So no, you made a mediocre film, Disney, and people don't like it, and they're going on the review sites, and they're expressing their dislike for the movie. It's not racism. There aren't enough racists there aren't that many racists out there to make it seem like everybody is. Fast and the Furious has Han, who's Japanese. China and Japan don't get along, yet those movies still make a lot of money even with him in it. Like I said, people ultimately don't give a crap about race. They give a shit about good movies. If you give them good movies, they're gonna show up. If you give them mediocre nonsense and race swap bullshit for no reason, people are tired of the race swapping. That's what it is. People are tired of every redheaded character being race swapped to a black person. That's why Cleopatra on Netflix failed and everybody laughed at it. Egypt's pissed at freaking Netflix for that shit. And that's why this movie is tanking. That's why every Disney thing that's come out the last couple years has failed. Because they keep trying to force all this. In the one movie, what is it, the Lost World movie or whatever it is, like we got a gay teenage couple, and we got freaking race swap this, and they're gonna start trying to put trans stuff in it, and it's like, don't put that stuff into family films, because the families are gonna start rejecting that shit. I'm telling you, Disney needs to get back to cute little animal movies like Bambi or whatnot, or if you're gonna do cartoons, the traditional hero, damsel in distress, like bullshit. Fuck this feminist shit. And fuck all this other stuff that's in culture today, that a very small, minor group of people that are very loud about like stuff, and you keep making the mistake of catering to them, and your family audience is rejecting you. That's why all these Disney movies are failing. That's why Top Gun kicked ass in the theater. That's why all the Spider-Man movies do good, because they stick to the source material. They don't make Mary Jane better than Peter Parker or whatnot. Mary Jane's the new Spider-Person and she's better than Peter Parker. No, no, you can't do that. Just stick to the source material, make an entertaining movie, and people will go out to see it. When you start throwing intersectional feminist bullshit and all this woke ideology nonsense in it, people are tired of it. And they're saying all the traditional, very successful Disney animated films were made at a time where they really weren't putting minorities and everybody in them. Tough shit. I'm sorry, but everybody recognizes certain characters as they are from the animated movies, and if you keep trying to swap everything out, they're gonna turn away from that shit. And that's what's happening right now. You can get away with it for a little bit, but look at all the other live action remakes that Disney has done. Did they swap out anybody for anybody? No, they kept it pretty much one-to-one translation to the animated movies. And what happens? They made it all about making this girl the black girl. And look, she can sing, she looks good, but she's not the character from the damn cartoon that everybody grew up and everybody knows. Even people that never seen the movie could describe it. Hey, how do you describe Ariel from that Little Mermaid cartoon? It's a white chick with a freaking dolphin tail and bright ass red hair. Like, everybody knows her as that. And then you swap it to this and expect everybody to just accept it and whatnot, because Black People Apology Tour, we got to switch everybody out so we can feel represented. Stop doing that shit. Stop tokenizing fucking black people with this dumb shit, okay? Most black people don't want this shit. It's dumb. It's stupid, and it's making your audience is rejecting this shit. Listen, you had a black Disney princess, The Princess and the Frog. Why didn't you make a live version of that? Oh, because it's not as popular as Little Mermaid, so we can't make new shit, so we got to appropriate the popular shit and race swap it out, and it's not going to work, and you're going to make less and less and less on your returns every time. Listen, you want to introduce more diverse group of characters, take the popular movies and sprinkle brand new characters into those movies and see if they take off like that. That's the only way you're going to do it, or you're going to have to make up brand new fucking shit. You're going to have to go to, do some research into African kings, queens, and all that shit, and come up with some fairy tale shit based off that. And I get it. You're out of ideas. You have horrible writers that have no experience writing anything, and they suck. And the only way to make money is you got to go back to the Disney Vault, the back catalog, and make live versions of everything. I get it. The first 3 or 4 you did make money, but people are starting to catch on to it now. And like I said, people eventually get smart and they're like, oh, you're just freaking remaking the stuff from back in the day, but this new shit has a bunch of dumb messaging in it, and you're swapping out characters for diversity purposes, and you're adding music into it, and you're changing lyrics to songs because you feel like it's inappropriate. I'm going to go back and watch the old school shit that's better, because this new shit is trash. That's why everybody goes back to watch the old Ninja Turtles shit and the old Transformers stuff. Because the new stuff, even though it's got $300 million behind it, it looks weird. Optimus Prime has lips now for some reason and shit. And every time they get into a fight, it's just like a bunch of like trash on the screen rolling around like Katamari and shit from freaking that PlayStation game and shit. Idea, come up with new shit. You could take the basis of like old stories or whatnot, but like Pixar, Toy Story's an original like tale about a kid and his toys, and the toys come to life. They've done that before. Night at the Museum is the exact same shit with Ben Stiller and shit. The statues come to life at night, and they freaking go around the museum and they cause shit. Come up with new shit, new characters for today's age, then you can do all the diversity shit. But when you go back in time and try to erase the past by switching out shit, people get mad, and the internet is instant access. People can instantly go on Twitter and start whining and bitching about this shit, and it affects your box office and whatnot. So just come up with new stories. They used to do that. Almost all the Pixar movies and shit were original shit. Almost all the Disney shit is just based off old fairy tales. Okay, find more old fairy tales and do adaptations off that shit. Go around the world and look up their fairy tales and come up with some. Like, the numbers don't lie. How in 1 week, two movies, both starring black leads. One is doing super successful box office wise, even overseas in the Asian market that's supposedly racist and everything. And the other one is basically just petered out. Little Mermaid's pretty much not going to make much more money than it has right now. Why? Because like I said, you did the race swap thing, which was dumb, of a popular character that everybody knows as a white girl with red hair and shit. Stop doing that. And the other movie stuck to the source material, built off the goodwill of the last Spider-Man movie, and now everybody loves that character. It's not even the Peter Parker Spider-Man. It's the Miles Morales, half black, half Puerto Rican Spider-Man, and it's still popular. Like I said, if you make good shit and you don't fill it with a bunch of fucking woke ideology bullshit, freaking feminist bullshit. White men are the devil and they're stupid. Women are awesome and they can do everything better than guys can do, and they don't even need training like Rey in Star Wars. I just know the Force and I know all the cheat codes and everything, and I can defeat anybody better than any guy can. If you keep doing that shit, people are going to get tired of it, man. And I'm sorry, you can throw $300 million in production money at this shit and people are going to be like, nah. No. And like I said, Indiana Jones, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to have Indiana's niece take over. They're going to make him look stupid as hell. Make him do an apology tour for all the stuff, all the artifacts that he took and everything that he liberated. And she's going to be the new Indiana Jones at the end of that movie. I guarantee that's what's going to happen. And that movie's going to make no money. Because everybody's going to be like, this same bullshit again, this same feminist shit again. Oh my goodness, I'm not wasting my money and time on this. Like, what the hell? Why am I going to waste money and time for the same story, Disney? You keep doing this shit every time. We get it. Women were treated badly. It was bad, but y'all need to stop. You race swap the main character. You added a bunch of songs in. You altered the fundamental of the story, in which it's about a girl who sees a dude who wants to get with that dude, is willing to sacrifice some stuff to try and get with that dude, and the dude ends up saving her at the end. And they switched the ending to where she saves him at the end. So what was the point of all this? The entire point of her dad letting her go at the end was because, oh, humans ain't a bunch of douchebags. There are a couple of good ones and shit. But since the dude wasn't able to save her at the end, it just freaking nullifies that whole fucking story. And you did it because of today's freaking standards and bullshit on Twitter and whatnot, where women can't be saved by dudes. There can't be damsels in distress. And now your movie's gonna suffer for it for some dumb shit, and y'all don't learn. It's a Disney movie. It's a bunch of cute animals. It's Lilo and Stitch. It's Homeward Bound. Oh no, we got lost on the family vacation, the dog and the cat that talk, and they have to make their way back home. It's the Sword and the Stone. It's the freaking nerdy little prince who's actually the king, future king of England. He pulls the sword out of the stone, and he's a hero now. It's the damsel that's been trapped in the tower, and Shrek's gotta save him. It's the same 5 freaking archetypes of storytelling that have existed for hundreds of years. Go back to that shit. That shit works. The new Gen Z bullshit that you've been trying the last 5 years and losing money on, it doesn't work. Go back to that shit. Every other studio's going back. They're going back to making Shrek and Puss in Boots the way it used to be. The Spider-Man movie is all about freaking being a hero and not all this other bullshit and everything. You can have inclusion. You can have all this other stuff, but the story's got to be good. And it can't be filled with all this bullshit. Get back to that, and then you get back to making money.
Enough with the live action movie, especially with the ones that prominently feature a lot of animals. Live action photorealistic animals like in The Lion King and this movie, they don't look good. It doesn't look right with real animals trying to emote and all this shit. Do Roger Rabbit style if you got to do that shit. Have live actors and cartoon freaking animals and shit. Like Bedknobs and Bruce. Like all the freaking Disney movies from like the 60s and shit. Just do that. But stop making these things live action. They're going to do a live action Lilo and Stitch. That's going to be the stuff of nightmares. Remember what Sonic the Hedgehog looked like the first time before they re-rendered him and shit? They tried to make him look super realistic, and they had to go back to the video game looking shit. Because realistic looking animals don't look good. Stop doing that bullshit, Disney. What the hell, man? Learn from your mistakes. Stop doing this. Lilo and Stitch is going to be, boy, that's going to be bad. Like, dude, imagine if they tried to do a Goofy movie and made Goofy and Max and all them look real. You know what I'm saying? Powerline looking like freaking real. Like, but Jay, they got that brand new Elemental movie that's coming out and shit. And apparently it's not going to do good at the box office because you've had a string of movies that were not good that people didn't like. And when you feed people shit long enough, they go somewhere else to eat and whatnot. The pizza place that used to be amazing, or the taco stand that used to have amazing tacos, now all of a sudden the tacos have been dog shit the last 3 times I've gone there. I'm going to go somewhere else. And that's what's happening right now. And apparently the movie isn't that great anyway, and it's got the girl boss bullshit in it like usual. They keep putting the same type of bullshit messaging in it, and it's basically a tale of interracial dating and all this other stuff and whatnot. They keep trying to put all this modern bullshit into these freaking films, and they keep forgetting that these films are made for kids, families with little kids, and just keep it simple and entertaining, not with all this messaging bullshit. The fuck? That's the reason the movie's not going to do good, because the last 6 Disney projects have sucked, and people have caught on to that shit, and they're like, nah, I'm going to go take my money somewhere else.
Studios that are not Disney. They've made the Minions movie. They made the Gru movie. Before that, remember, before Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock, he was in an animated film called Shark Tale. Like, you can go back, how many studios, How to Train a Dragon Part 1 through 8 and shit. It's all original shit based off old fairy tale shit that you adapt and whatnot. And with the key message of heroism, boy chase girl, boy gets girl, whatever. Leave the modern shit out of it. And then you can diversify the shit out of that cast because nobody knows these freaking stories or whatnot. That's how you do that shit. Don't go back and change Cleopatra to a fucking black chick. That's stupid. Because every scientist, theologian, historian knows that ain't real. And you look dumb as fuck doing this shit. So that's what you gotta do. You gotta come up with new, original shit. You can't keep going back to the freaking vault, the well, and remixing the old shit, thinking people